wow, you can see what it's doing here. It's doing some next level stuff. I just added some type of, I don't know exactly what that is, but that looks like some type of, effect, extra effect where we didn't have that in the video. It seems like it just did that by itself. What's going on? It's a SEP. Who said AI editors aren't coming to play and they can't edit your videos for you? I was on a call the other day, last week actually. I went on a pretty deep research for editors. I interviewed multiple editors. Some of them had decent work. Some of them I actually handed off my work. Some of them came back. And some of them actually I hope to hire and give them about a good salary, but they still haven't came up with what I want, which is speed to actual production and actually have something of a good type of video, right? So, and some of them actually were way priced, overpriced. Some of them I even talked to that were a little bit, they were in their ego, you could say, which I would tell them, hey man, AI could probably do some of the work. I just need someone to spend time running some of the systems we need, because we need speed and factor. And in those cases, they came back to me, telling me, oh, we know the market, it's not like that, maybe in a few years or something. But in reality, that just shows when someone doesn't understand what's going on, they're hurting themselves. Because right now, as I'm facing what I'm looking at right now is the complete AI agent video editor, which I'm practicing right now. I'm testing it as we speak, right? So in the last few minutes, I uploaded a video. I told it, cut all the pauses right away. It just came up, it cut all the pauses. Then I came up to it, I said, hey, let's add some B-roll. It said, absolutely. It added the B-roll. So right now, we have a full out, real life video editor, one-to-one, no delay, no sending files over, Telegram or whatever, waiting a week, trying to reiterate. Right then and there means you as a creator or you as someone as a business owner, you don't have to wait for somebody to come at you a week later and give you a really crappy video that you have to iterate again, losing time on the market, right? So what we're experiencing here is direct transfer of talent, right? There's the thing you have in your head, your ideas, to reality by using AI agents. Now, the tool I'm using right now is Descript. This is a kind of tool that's not really released to the market yet. You have to apply to it and come into place, right? But I have access to it, and you can see how it really works, right? So under the tab here on the right, this is the AI agent. Kind of a chat comes up. You could talk to it, you could type to it, or you could use my favorite way of expressing yourself with an AI agent, which is voice. So right now I added the B-roll. Now my next target would probably be, let's add some really hype captions. All right. I want you to add some really hype captions and transitions to make this video really pop, almost like a Mr. Beast style type of video, right? So let's see if we can make that happen. Boom. This is an art, almost, you could call it vibe coding, you could call it vibe creating, marketing, whatever you want to call it. At the end of the day, using your own voice prompting is the future. And that's something I do all the time. So I'm going to pop that in there. Let's see if it's giving. Seems like it's too busy running the last prompt. So I'm going to let that process, right? Because the last prompt I gave it was add some B-roll. As we're seeing right now, it keeps refreshing and it's doing its thing. So let it process what it's doing before we give it that new prompt. But overall, what we can see here is, as a creator, as a business owner, as someone that really likes to or understands the power of, YouTube, the power of marketing yourself, building authority in your space, equates to a higher conversion, equates to, maybe cheaper leads, equates to much, much more easier versus someone who's not doing it. So let's look at myself, for example. I've been in the industry, the sales, booking demos, getting on calls with people. And it's come to a point now, especially in 2025 right now, that no matter how many appointments, how many calls you hop on, right? The market is just stacked against you versus someone who's leveraging media and YouTube and things of that nature. They have a personal brand, a very powerful brand against them in their corner. It's almost like competing with, you're a senior and you're competing with children. We're children at this moment. We're toddlers. If we're not on YouTube, we're toddlers. We can't make anything happen, right? You can't move anything. You can't, do anything. If you've seen this, there's a meme I seen a while back where it was a team of, two adult soccer players playing against like 100 kids or something like that, right? So that's how you're really operating. You have that leverage when you have media behind you. You have all these systems behind you in the sense of, people seeing your face, understanding who you are, understanding your messages. And if you're skimping out on that, doesn't matter which market you're a realtor, you're a technician, you're a SaaS founder, doesn't matter which market you're. If you don't have that in check, which I like to call the creative process.io, based on our own websites, our own thesis, everything's going to be stacked against you versus maybe a 16-year-old kid somewhere out in, who knows, London, England, who's pumping out content. That's all he's doing. He's a one-man team, and he's just maybe sending out a few outreach messages. Maybe he's sending a few LinkedIn connection requests, and they're just dominating the field, right? They're just getting all the conversions on the calls. People trust them more because they've seen their messaging. They pre-sold themselves over and over. People watching their message. They don't have to repeat themselves versus someone like, the old school, the traditional way, which is the grind. You're cold calling, you're putting all this energy input up front, bringing people on sales calls. And even at the end, wow, you can see what it's doing here. It's doing some next level stuff. I just added some type of, I don't know exactly what that is, but that looks like some type of, effect, extra effect where we didn't have that in the video. It seems like it just did that by itself. Okay. Very cool stuff. So back to what we were saying, you're competing against someone who's leveraged now in the market, right? If you don't have your creative process in check, your sales process is going to lack, right? So I noticed basically myself, because I'm in the game right now, we book a lot of calls, we book a lot of demos, but we see it doesn't even matter. No matter how many calls and demos you book, the person who still has a very high leverage media, a YouTube or something in those regards, they're going to beat you regardless, because they don't have to exert too much energy into convincing that person on the call. The person's already did a quick Google search on them. They have all these theses, they're sitting at home maybe before nighttime, before bed, just looking at those assets, getting pre-sold, going down this rabbit hole, whatever the thesis of the product service is, and they're just pre-selling themselves, indoctrinating themselves to this idea of the value proposition behind it, and it's a game changer. So if you're someone that's not operating within that, doesn't matter which angle you're coming at, derails, doesn't even matter, right? The more people see your face, the better you have trust. And there was a study, I believe, not long ago that I read that confirmed this exact thing, right? What they did was they took a magazine, they made a random word, like some random word, let's say Anani, some random word. I don't even know if that's real or not. And they put it in a magazine and they gave it out to people in the local market. So over the base of 2 weeks, people saw that word Anani, and then went onto the street. They start interviewing people. What do you think of the word Anani? Right. And people say, oh, that's a really cool word. I like that word. It's a very cool word. And they associate it with a positive thing because they kept seeing it over and over again, and it reaped into the subconscious and it became a positive thing for them versus if they didn't. So you have to look at your own business and your offer is the same thing. If you coming off people right now, you're giving them a brand new offer. Hey, AI is going to do this for you. And then you have no assets. You have nothing for them to indoctrinate or like pre-sell themselves or just go down the rabbit hole and just familiarize themselves with your thesis and offer. It's just going to hurt you in the long term. Why? Because they're going to come on that call. And they're just going to, that's interesting, which has happened to me lots of times, right? They come on the call. Oh, that's very cool. Oh, I didn't know you could do that with AI. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, that's nice to think about. That's kind of a waste of your time. Where previously you could have just bombarded them with a plethora of videos, all these assets, all these things. So when they come on the call, they already know what's going on. You're just having a friendly conversation, seeing if you're a good fit or not. That's it. That's the gist of it. So, what we're looking at here seems like the editor is still pumping out. It's still working. So I'm going to let that finish while we come back and check up on it in a few minutes. All right. Okay. Beautiful. I just gave it that prompt that we told about making a pop, making like Mr. Beast. See if it comes with anything. Let's take your video to the next level with high impact captions, bold energetic transitions like Mr. Beast. I'll start by adding high energy captions. All right, so let that do its thing. Let's check out some of the scenes, for example. Let's see what is this. It seems like it added something interesting here. So we didn't have that before. I don't know exactly what that is. Some really different, looks a little bit different. Certain areas I'm looking at might be bugging out. So it's taking our video and it's putting us in the overlay. Potentially, because I'm using a overlay myself, it's mixed it up. So in my opinion, if you're going to run this and you want a clean video, you probably want something like this, just a flat video, and I'll do the full edit. But for my case, because the video is already edited, I could see why it's running to some issues with overlays and things like that. So it's overlaid my video into another section, and I don't see that being a good product for what the use case what we have. But this video, the whole point of it is to test out this thing. It doesn't have to be perfect. We can learn where it's going wrong. Now it's adding some of the captions. Very interesting. So we'll let that finish in a second, and we'll check back on it and let you know how it goes. All right, cool. So it seems like it finished the prompt. All right, the whole thing. Now, what we can do is, the video is quite long, so I just want to play some of that. Oh, wow. Okay. It's added some captions. It's added certain things. I think the only place that I see it is not working out correctly, which I think in the next further videos we could test out is having a blank video rather than a, multi-segmented video like what we have. So there you have it, folks. If you want to understand exactly how you could use this, you could go to Descript.com, and there's a section AI agents where you could apply and probably get access to it. See what you can do. Now you know that you probably have to upload maybe a raw video just like the one I'm looking at right now, instead of edited with overlays type of video for best results, right? So hopefully this video was helpful to you. And if you think, it's something stopping you from creating content, for example, having an editor on board and these things, you shouldn't have the excuse right now with AI agents coming to play. This thing just got released this week, so you can see in a matter of months when the testing comes in and things of that nature. And something that you should also kind of keep an eye out. They're giving out a $15 reward for anybody who wants to test this thing out. So if you want to be early to the process and maybe get yourself some lunch, you could definitely go ahead and get that once you're in the part of their trial team. Right. So hopefully this video was cool for you. Don't let any type of excuses stop you from getting that creative process going, ultimately getting your brand to where it needs to go so you can capitalize, have more influence to the market, make things more easier for you, makes the selling process easier for you, attracting people, leads and things of that nature, ultimately make your business more lucrative, self-sufficient, and just provide more value to people. All right. So hopefully this video was interesting to you. I'll see you on the next one.